All right, GM, or good evening wherever you are around the world. Good to be back. Obviously, yeah, as I said just before, without the recording, I'm doing these every morning or every night in the Australian times, just to make sure that people have an update with what I'm looking at and current positions, all those sorts of things. And a chance for you to ask questions as well. But yeah, if you have any questions, guys, write them in the chat. But we'll do a full market overview. So all the trades we're currently in, I'm talking NFTs, I'm talking meme coins, I'm talking macro as well. It's not surprising, and we'll dive straight in. So it's not surprising that we're kind of just consolidating here. Like at the end of the day, this isn't a great time to be trading. We've entered some good trades already, obviously on Blowfin with some leverage longs. A few of them are still very applicable. We've entered some memes that are up, but being in the trenches is starting to be okay again. But again, it's so hard to consistently do that over a long period of time. So definitely do consider just taking some more macro steps, because at the end of the day, that's what we do. We trade a lot in this group across all of the markets. Our base AI agent, shout out to Zen and Mike as well, and a few others in that channel who've been absolutely printing. Shout out to Big Maxo in the futures and Mac for his algo as well. Like, we've been printing a lot of different ways, guys, and that's what makes GTG so good, because we cover all aspects of the market, not just a niche perspective. So what I'm looking at here is essentially the yearly close. So this is Bitcoin. I was put on the log chart, might be a bit easier to see. But as you can see here, this is Bitcoin's history, right? Now, just really something to note. Now, obviously, in initially we had sort of, I do have all these drawings on. I can't be able to draw it. That's okay. Okay, so essentially, what I'm looking at here, guys, is in history, right? What you've seen is a big difference between Rocketman. I'm just going to mute you. There we go. Okay. Rolex, oh yeah, I mean, maybe I should turn the mute back on, but we'll see. Anyways, what we're seeing, guys, is see how there's like one bear market year. Now, ignore this first cycle price action leading into the second cycle, because it was such a novice, inexperienced asset. It wasn't mature. It was early. It was still like innovation. People didn't really know what it was, blah, blah, blah. So it doesn't have time to form a mature market. So this first two cycles, it's just easy to ignore those, okay? And you can just sort of send them as an outlier. Now, from that point, what have we noticed is the trend? We have one bear market year. So that was 2014. We have 3 green years after that. So 1, 2, 3, and this was the all-time high. So I joined crypto here in 2016. 2017 was the all-time high in that cycle. Then we have our bear market year. Then we have 1, 2, 3 green years. So even this one here, we still managed to close above 28,000. We went all the way, obviously, up to 69,000 for the local top, but the close on the year was 45,000. So again, follow the pattern, okay? We then have our bear market year, quite aggressive. So if we do compare bear market years, okay, we obviously saw 58% there. We obviously saw a little bit more aggressive here, 73% in 2018, okay? And then obviously in 2022, we saw a 64% dump. Now, what I'm looking at here, guys, is the continuation of the trend. So you have one bear market year and then 3 green years after that. One bear market year, 3 green years after that. One bear market year, we now have our 2 green years. We're now onto our 3rd potential green year in 2025. So I'm seeing a lot of people still worry and all those sorts of things. So it is always great to step back, to understand what macro is saying, okay, and to just see what the trend is saying. Now, again, trends are meant to be broken, okay, rules are meant to be broken. But in theory, right, and what I tweeted this out the other day is, depending on where this closes in pretty much, 2 days and 2 hours. That's pretty exciting. Happy New Year soon. Pretty much wherever this closes, I would hazard a guess that based on history, based on patterns, okay, this would say that we at least see 2025 close above whatever the closing number is this year. So currently that's obviously the price is at 93.3. So if that's the closing price this year, then next year we should have a green candle above 93.3. Now, obviously this doesn't, Pacifica, I'm trying to mute as well. Sorry. Thanks, bro. I'm trying to do that at the same time. But pretty much, guys, what I mean by this is, based on history, we should close above this level. Now, that's not going to time the top, but based on what you should be doing here is considering that 2025 is still a green bullish year. Now, Bitcoin itself, it could obviously close above the yearly close of 2024 in 2025. It could go up to 200K. I very much think maybe 180K is probably where I see it start to maybe top out. I've seen a lot of analysts, myself, Sexy Aussie, we kind of think maybe around that 150 sort of mark might be a decent area for an all-time high. But basically, yeah, like if we do take the fib, I suppose, from this high here, I've got all these drawings on. It says, well, yeah, 183 is the 1618. Excuse all the lines, they're just the yearlies. But basically, 1618 is 183. So I would hazard a guess that that could be a good target, which is still a 2x from here. So that would be amazing, obviously. So just, again, this is a really good... this is a really good just macro perspective to make sure that you stay up to date with what's happening in the market, and so that you zoom out and the trend is your friend, okay, until the trend changes, which in 2026 I would expect this purple sell-off here to be initiated. So that's what I'm looking at. Basically then what we start to notice is that you can dive a little bit deeper. In 2027, 2028 is when you should be buying the next round of bear market lows. It's always good to do that. Obviously, you probably can't really do yearly analysis on too many other tokens. ETH doesn't really have too much history, but again, it follows the same trend. So you have a bear market year, two years up. Okay, bear market year, we had 2 bear market years, but 2 years up. We had a bear market year, two years up. So I think ETH does well. I do think ETH can push 10K this cycle. It has been lagging a lot. Let's dive in a little bit shallower into lower time frames just to see what the trend is at the moment. But basically, we're just kind of chilling, in my opinion, right now. I got to turn off log. Okay. We're just kind of chilling, guys. So again, you got to remember, like we went from basically this breakout here. So we went from there to there. So 70% in the space of 150 days-ish. So of course we need to kind of chill for a bit. Okay, of course we need to chill. We broke out this range, as you can see here. We're now sort of creating our own range up the top as well. Now, do I still have that drawn? I do. Okay, sweet. So if we come have a look, okay, at the 4 hours, probably the best. I drew this. This is just PO3 price action. If you want to learn about that, it's in the trading channel here. I'll just trading help. Okay, bit in there, and also in future and leverage help. Okay, there's so much help in the channel. Just ping me or any other trader or anyone else, and we'll be more than happy to direct you where you need to go. But essentially what we're looking at here is, I drew this, like, I mean, in theory, it could go even longer, right? And we could see this sort of PO3 price action play out later in 2025. So we could maybe do something like this, okay? But traditionally, this is what price likes to do. This, I mean, in theory, it could actually be the other way, right? This could be the dump, okay? So this could be the PO3 price action here, actually. Is Sexy in the chat? I wonder if he is. It's probably not as aggressive as you maybe would want to see, but in theory, this could be the dump here. Okay. So, no, Sexy's not here. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, this is what I'm looking at. Maybe a breakdown or maybe the breakup where you have a deviation. So this green area up the top is a deviation above the range, okay? A little deviation there as well. But this is pretty much the range low from 85K. So that's the first time we have liquidity there. We have all this untouched liquidity here. We obviously have untouched liquidity here still from the 200-day. No, this is on the 4 hour. Just ignore the EMA at the moment. But pretty much what we're looking at is this untouched liquidity here from that liquidation event and the February 6th. So I think consolidation, the longer we consolidate, the more bullish I get for a longer market. I've said that for a long time, guys. And one other thing I want to just mention is, in history, Bitcoin doesn't revisit its previous all-time high breakout, which you could say is 73K, or obviously this one from last cycle, 69K. In theory, it doesn't go back to that level until the bear market, okay? So that's something to definitely keep of note. If we do take a look here, there's a few lines on this chart. I'd probably need to clean it up. But if you do look here, okay, we don't revisit this level here until the bear market, okay? And that's pretty much a pattern that has happened in history. But again, like I said before, patterns are meant to be broken. But understanding this, you can make sure that you can just best prepare. So red lines, obviously, end of 2025. That's where I do think we do break high. So the fact we consolidated here means the yearly close for next year is easier to achieve. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. Just kind of consolidating here. I mean, in my opinion, everyone should own Bitcoin. We've spoken about that for a long time. Zilla's asking about BTC dominance. We can have a look at that. But yeah, Sexy and Aussie and myself, like, we own a lot of Bitcoin, Craig as well. I think everyone needs to make sure that you do have exposure to Bitcoin, because it is the one asset that you can confidently believe will be around for the very long future ahead. Okay, so pretty much what we're looking at here is BTC dominance. Thanks, Zilla, for reminding me. But like I said, it's a lower high, but we are back above that support. Okay, so this has been a trend all the way from basically here. So June 23, this has been the trend. Okay, so for 580 days, we've followed this trend. We broke below it. We had a little bit of an altcoin season. Okay, with ETH sort of pumping a bit, with obviously some other alts. We are still bleeding again on the day, or those are meme coins. They're kind of bleeding on the day. But if you come down, like even alts are bleeding a little bit on the day as well. So just consolidation here. Again, this is a lower high. Okay, so that shows me that it is potentially a bearish structure. Whereas here, guys, what we have noticed for a long time is higher highs. Okay, that's why the trend is like that, and higher lows, right? So that means that's bullish. However, we have now seen a cycle shift. That's a higher, lower high, and it's also a lower low. Okay, we have multiple lows there, and we have created a macro lower low. So I hazard a guess that we probably consolidate here for a little bit longer on BTC dominance. We might get one more rally, in my opinion. Let's look at the stochastic on the daily. Yeah, coming back down. So on the daily, but let's go to the weekly. Yeah, based on this, we probably do maybe chill out for a little bit longer, and then perhaps we do see one more rally of BTC dominance in 2025 before we see a all-time high for Bitcoin. So for me, right, I actually probably see, I still lean towards Q1 being a local high. But I have seen a few good Fibonacci pullbacks and time considerations be that Q3, Q4 2025 could be a good time in the market for a actual high this cycle. Again, a lot depends on what happens around the world, more than just Trump getting inaugurated, but more so rates in Australia, and the cost of living in Australia is still so expensive. So that leads people away from investing. I know that is still quite a common theme around the world as well. So things like that you need to be aware of. Global liquidity is increasing, and I would expect that to probably increase quite aggressively once Trump obviously does take the seat. They likely print probably a fair amount of money as well. But outside that, guys, I believe everyone's mic should be muted already, guys. So it should be all G. But pretty much, basically, what I'm looking at here is maybe a little bit, one more move, maybe up into this range for BTC dominance, and then likely the cycle could be over. So for it, like maybe do something like that. Okay, so that would put us into maybe Q1. It was a bit of a delay, but it could put us into sort of Q1. Okay, top out here in BTC for a bit, and then maybe we rally again towards the end of 2025 as well. Pretty much that's what I'm looking at. But yeah, BTC dominance is still very high. That's why altcoins have been bleeding against their BTC pair. If we do take a look, I'm still waiting for ETH. ETH is in theory putting in a change. Okay, we do have a macro higher low here, guys, on ETH versus BTC. We do see it rallying a bit off this mark. This is why I swapped a lot of Ethereum in October. Bitcoin into Ethereum in October, and also Solana into Ethereum, because they both look bottomed, which we have seen it outperform a little bit. But basically, as soon as we break this trend, I then obviously think that ETH starts to outpace BTC. My first target would still be that 5.2%, which is about a 40% move. I don't know if we start to rally towards 2025, end of 2025, but pretty much that's what I'm looking for. Britt, I can't, or maybe you, I can mute them, but you guys need to mute them on your end. My apologies. Yeah, so I mute them. I can't hear them, but you guys do need to mute them as well. Okay, that makes sense. Zilla makes a really good point. So USD dominance, if we just bring that one up as well, it's still charging, right? So this is a really good chart to keep an eye on as well. Now, BTC dominance is really important, but basically when USD dominance goes up, okay, that's usually bearish for risk on assets, because obviously people are hodling USD. However, when it goes down, as we have sort of seen this sort of past couple of years, this is why Bitcoin and a lot of risk on assets have done really well, right? However, we are seeing a macro double bottom. Okay, so traditionally that could be a reversal. Let's look at stochastic. Stochastic momentum is very oversold on the weekly. So this could, in theory, bounce back up, and we could still see a bit of struggle for the next month or two, depending on what happens as well. So yeah, very good point, Zilla. It looks like we are holding this macro level. We've held this for a long time. So keeping an eye on US dominance is probably a really good, important thing. Outside that, let's go to ETH. Where's my ETH chart? Basically, I swear I had all the drawings. Maybe I've got rid of it, but I got all these different ETH charts. Here we go. This is one I wanted. Pretty much we are overextended on the week. On the daily, we are at the bottom, so maybe we see a bit of a reversal here, but this is pullback region. I think Aussie and Sexy are in along on ETH from memory. maybe just sexy. But again, this looks really nice. Shallow pullbacks into golden pocket is a great long macro range. You would sort of, and this is higher lows, right? Higher low, higher low. We managed to take out this sort of FDV, I suppose, there as well. But higher lows here. So in theory, you would want to see this trend continue. Based on the daily, it looks like we do see a bit of reprieve, but on the weekly, there still is a lot of pressure to the downside on Ethereum directly. On BTC weekly, we are also a lot of pressure on the downside. So consolidation here is what I would like to see for a healthy market, okay? For a longer market into 2025, where I confidently say, okay, the top might not be in Q1, is consolidation here for a little bit longer, okay? That's what I'd love to see. All right, let's go to Solana. Same again, okay, we have the retest here of that breakout zone, which we've been in for a very long time. Let's go to this chart, it's a bit better. But pretty much what we're looking at here is the trend. Hold on, I need to redraw this. It is a different chart, but basically it's about there. Yeah, perfect. So that's what I'm looking at the moment. Solana's kind of battling that. Same again, okay, look at its weekly oscillator up the top, guys. The stochastic momentum is still very, it's probably not as high as BTC and ETH, so it's kind of on the way down for a while. But the pressure is still 255 on the weekly close. We get a weekly close in about an hour and 40, so I imagine it comes down a little bit further. So it's still, I would still hazard a guess, guys, that this is pretty much just consolidation here. You want consolidation, otherwise we start to take aggressive profits moving into the start of 2025, because this everything is still overbought in my opinion. So outside that, we are seeing a nice sort of pullback on a lot of your top altcoins. No surprise that XRP is sort of breaking this low time frame structure. Sui as well, kind of consolidating. If you do see Sui sort of pull back a little bit, guys, obviously you could probably take this breakout here. So ideally, Sui at 3.24 is likely a very good buy in my opinion. But again, as you can see, momentum on the week is very high for a lot of these coins. So they can last a long time. Like look at Sui here. It lasted from December 23 all the way to probably, yeah, March. So 3 months up here, but it's already spent 3 months up here. So oscillators are showing me that momentum needs to come down. We need to chill either. Like, we don't have to go down in price, okay? We just need to consolidate, okay? And that will reset a lot of oscillators and show that momentum can go back and pump a little bit higher once again. So these are all things that you need to take into consideration when trading, particularly macro futures and obviously memes as well, because at the end of the day, as you can see here, like BTC, Solana, and ETH are only down 2-3%. Whereas alts are down 4, 5, 6, 10%. Memes are down over 10%. So that's why the further you go down the risk curve, guys, the more aggressive the sell-offs are going to be. We nailed the fog buy though, guys, just quietly. We're in that long, and we also accumulated a lot down at 200-ish million. I think that's about there. So we bought there. So we nailed that buy on fog, guys. Consolidation here. So again, if you're just new to the chat, new to the group, welcome obviously, but fog here is still very valid. You might not get as good as entry on the leverage trade, probably not. I probably wouldn't advise a leverage trade. However, spot buying fog here looks very good in my opinion. We did try a breakout. So this could be a good trade here potentially. We bounce off the 618 and do something like that. Sweep the shallows. Let's have a look actually. So if you're not in fog, I would probably say it's not a bad buy at the moment for spot, but maybe if you retest some of these shallow fibs here, let me just get rid of the big ones. But if you retest some shallow fibs here off the swing low to the swing high at the moment, this region here is maybe not a bad area for a swing trade. I'll be keeping an eye on that. I probably won't call it. I might call it just as I'm already in this trade. And GGG has been in this trade for about a week or two already. So we got in down here. So yeah, about a week that we've been in this trade already. So yeah, I mean, what you'd want to see is probably a higher low. So you probably don't want to see it go lower. I mean, it could wick down to the 618, but very simple invalidation, guys. Pretty much what you'd be doing is sort of targeting a sort of trade like that. So ideally get in this zone here between the 382, the 0.5. Ideally you want to get lower entry because then your risk is better. Okay, it's a 3.7. Literally, it's a massive difference in risk to reward if you can get that at 0.5 at 275 mil. So keep an eye on that for a macro high low as well. Okay. We'll run through some memes as well, but Fog's one that we obviously bought the dip on. Mog as well is kind of chilling at the golden pocket from its swing low to swing high. Popcat also hasn't really bounced too much. I didn't take the long, or are we in the long? I can't remember. I need to look at Blowfin. I don't think we're in the Popcat long. I didn't see enough strength for me to long this. So I'm still holding spot. I did buy a bit of spot Popcat here. But again, if this starts to break this low here, if it starts to break this structure here as well, where this current liquidity is, that's probably bearish. That's probably a cut, and then look for maybe re-entry down here at 450 mil. Down there is probably what I'd see for Popcat. Whiff again, also a lot of these are struggling at the moment. Swing low to swing high, it is battling. It's 786 at the moment. Looks like it wants to go lower. So this is where if it does start to break the swing low, I then pull it back and we reset the chart completely. We look at the whole range, okay? Because then that's what you want to be seeing, okay? Which isn't too dissimilar, but we are battling. Yeah, so often fibs do align on different time frames. But basically what we're looking at is it's battling the 786 on the swing low to the swing high, and it's also battling the 618 on the all-time high to the all-time low, guys. So yeah, very much. We are in the Popcat long. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it looks fine. Like like in terms of risk to reward, it looks fine here. You just want to make sure that it holds this sort of region, right? So if you're not in Popcat, this is still probably a very good buy, in my opinion, for it. Look at that. Like just a simple trade back to the 0.5, guys. Like that's still very valid. So for anyone not in Popcat just yet, that's very valid for any new members. I might just ping everyone again. Okay. About that in the futures channel. At leverage. Maybe I got stopped at break even. I need to check my Blowfin. Hold on. Let me check my Blowfin. Oh, I'm not logged in on this computer. So annoying. Okay, hold on. This is what happens when you go away for a bit. I just want to check if I'm still in because I did move my stop loss to break even. So maybe mine got stopped out. Okay, for Giga, SPX, Sol, IMX, TR, Pith. No, so I did get stopped out. So I'm going to take this. Okay, so thanks to whoever shared that. I will be back in a sec. So entry is, what are we at? 0.717. I would say that you can probably enter to 678, 0.678. And then stop loss, as you can see on here, is 0.641. I mean, you could probably DCA down to, yeah, no, that's good. And then TP, we'll just target those areas. So 0.8 is that first sort of TP, and then 1.04 is what we're looking at. Again, long Popcat, low lev. Okay, these memes are so aggressive, so you want to just use low lev. All right, well, now that I've done that, I'll have to take the trade on Blowfin on my phone. Just give me a sec to sort that out, guys. I've just pinged it in the leverage channel so that everyone can do it. Oh my god, Zero Bro is pumping, guys. We nailed that. We have nailed that trade. Oh no, did my long get stopped? My long got stopped, did it? Oh, my long got stopped out. Damn, but at least we got spot as well. That's why we bought spot as well. Okay, if you're still in the Zero Bro trade, GG's. Okay, so Popcat, I want to market buy this at the moment. Okay, I'm just setting everything up. 1% of my trades. Again, if you're new to leverage, guys, highly recommend checking out Blowfin in the official links page and go to that help channel. There's a lot of stuff that Sexy and myself has shared in there for a long time. I'd highly recommend getting in there, and then you can ask me questions in the questions channel or in general, wherever, or in the futures channel. There's so many good traders in this group. That's what makes this place amazing. All right, so first TP is 1.04. Stop loss is 0.641 is what I had. Yeah. Cool. Buy long. Okay, cool. Yo, is that a question? We got a question? No? No. Okay, we're good. Okay, cool. We're back. I'm back. All right, sweet. Yeah, we got stopped out like 5 minutes ago. Oh, dude, really? Wait. On Zero, bro. I swear it's like pumping though. Hold on. How do we get stopped out on Zero, bro, if it's pumping though? Let's have a look. I mean, at least we're in spot. Man, this chart looks insane. Yeah, I bought a fair amount on Photon. I mean, it's still in a valid range, but yeah. It's still not bad, but it was at these lows. It must have got stopped. That's really interesting for me. Hold on, I'm gonna have to check my history. Oh, we got stopped out on Popcat. Okay, Britt. Yeah, okay, cool. I was like, let me look at my order history on Zero Bro. Oh wait, no. Oh my god, it closed. My TP hit. Oh no, we just printed, guys. We printed on Zero Bro. How do I share this? I don't know if I can. Order history. Here we go. Oh yeah, we printed, guys. Oh, let's go. Okay, so it's the trade is closed. I would have loved to hold it, guys. Okay, hold on. Let me just ping. Zero Bro leverage. Zero Bro hit some TPs. I'm fully out. Now that's a bit annoying, but I'm in still spot, but hey. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. 260% move. Bang, guys. Bang. There we go. Just shared it in the success channel. Let's go. Let's go. We're trading. We're making money. Okay, cool. So there we go. There we go. There we go. All right, it's in the chat now. So pretty much what you're looking at here is very strong. Like the reason we long this, okay, just for, again, this is all about education, and this is I haven't been here for 8 days, so this will be a long one today. But essentially what we're looking at here is you had, like, it was so evident to me that at least market makers or buyers are stepping in continuously for ages, like over a month at this level at about 290 million. Okay, so I was pretty confident that you would bounce from that region. Now, traditionally, this isn't the most bullish chart structure. Okay, traditionally, this does sometimes break down. Okay, we might see a breakdown here. But pretty much what I was looking at is, Dean, I'm just going to mute you just so there's no playback. And Mondras as well. Okay, cool. If you guys want to ask me a question, please let me know. Let me know. Yeah, let's go, Brit. Okay, so pretty much what we're looking at here, guys, is like in theory, I was very confident it was going to bounce at least here. If we see a breakdown of this sort of pattern, we usually see it around 80%. Okay, so we hadn't got there yet. So I'm not sure we break out here. So actually, this swing trade is very good. I'm happy that we have got out. Spot, we're looking very good. I mean, I think I'm still open. My spot buys are a little bit different here on Photon, but yeah, I'm up. I'm only up 10% on Photon, so maybe I do look to consider taking that out as well, just as a swing. But yeah, anyways, that's what I'm looking at, okay, at the moment, in that regard. But yeah, this looks good. I mean, this looks good for higher. I might sell a bit on my spot bag as well, just to cover, because memes have been so like hard recently. So I'm just a bit more like Sigma. I'm only at break even still, even though it's pumped a little bit. So yeah, it is interesting, guys. Being smart. Okay, so if we look here, yeah, so Sigma is kind of turning over a little bit as well if we speak about it. But I think Sigma and lock-in look very good for continuing here. Again, like we just saw before, macro pressure puts pressure on memes. That's why memes struggle as well. So understanding what we discussed for the past half an hour allows you to make informed decisions across the whole market. Okay, so don't ever forget that. All right. But these are two of our trades. I'm only in these three at the moment in short time frames. So that's Zero Bro, that's Sigma, and that's lock-in. Again, for targets, you want these higher fibs, ideally for Sigma and lock-in. Zero Bro, this is not a bad first target in my opinion. We obviously got in at 300 mil as a DCA yesterday, literally yesterday. So we're up 40% on that move. So that's a great trade in itself. And we obviously got that on the leverage as well. So we printed on that. Let's go. Okay, cool. Now, outside that, we just entered, obviously, PopCat here. I don't think that's a bad trade. We still own a bit of Rect. We de-risked Rect. This is, again, guys, the trend is your friend, okay? So many people on Twitter have no idea, okay? Have no idea. Anyways, I'll try my best to educate them. But essentially, what we had noticed here was we had higher highs, okay? Higher highs, higher lows, then structure broke. So that was immediately a big sign for me to probably de-risk. So we took a bit of profit, obviously, in this range here. And then I de-risked a bit more at about 100 mil as well. So it's now down. This doesn't really give us a fair interpretation of price in terms of market cap, but let's have a look at what Rex. So Rex at 68. So guys, this was the right move. This was definitely the right move. Now you were asking, okay, where do we look? Okay, where are we looking? We're looking probably 54 mil, and I start to ape back into some more Rex again as well. Just a reminder, we shared this in this range down here at about 40 mil. So you're still up nearly 2x on this trade as well. So Retardio is one. I know it's pumped a little bit. I've seen Murad discuss a few of these tokens, but again, like a lot of these tokens are starting to bounce, and I've tweeted this out yesterday because a lot of tokens are starting to bounce from low time frame, from high time frame. Like look at this, it didn't quite get to its 786, but look where it bounced from. It's 786. So this is what I mean. Okay, so macro, this is why the people in the trenches are struggling. I'm seeing massive people. I'm talking people who have made a lot of money this cycle are really starting to throw a lot of their money away. And look elsewhere for market trading. So you can't just trade one market, guys. That's the biggest advice I can give you. We trade in GTG, we trade everything, okay? It's really important you guys understand that. So Retardio looks pretty good here still. I'd want to see maybe a breakout here, like Sigma and Lock-in, which has broken out of its macro sort of resistance above. This one still has a little bit to go before there, but if you do get a retest of 786, any 786 is worthy of a buy, guys. Even if you get down to that sort of level there, any 786 is worthy of a buy. Okay, it's probably then a move back up here, and you get a 2. That's a risk to reward of 2, basically. So ideally you want it a little bit lower. But if you get this liquidity here about that sort of 60 mil, okay, it's probably not a bad buy there as well. So keep an eye on Retardio. Yeah, good one, Zilla, good one. Just let me try and refresh my memory what other trades we're in. UFD, it obviously broke down, okay. If I show it on a high time frame, here we go. Again, this is like our entry was pretty poor on this. Like our entry was an average, I believe, 130 mil. So de-risking at 120 mil and then de-risking at 100 mil. Fully, we nailed this trade, guys, okay? It's literally at 87 mil. We would have lost more money. Protecting your capital is absolutely key on trades like this, okay? So making sure that ignore the LARPs on the timeline. Ignore the LARPs on timeline. Ping me if you want to just clarify anything. I'm more than happy to help. 60 mil is where I become a buyer of UFD. Again, I have set an order on Photon. Yeah, chill guys, stopped out, Brit. Yeah. I mean, it's a risk to reward entry on that. We'll look at that very, very shortly. So looking here, we could see maybe a bit of reprieve here. We do have history here of liquidity at this level. So maybe this is where the bottom potentially is. Okay. But I'll be keeping an eye on UFD. But ideally, what you want to be getting for a mad sort of risk to reward, you want to probably get the 786 at 60 mil. So I have an order set just at 62 mil, just to front run it a little bit. I'd suggest you guys maybe do the same. All right, let's look at Chill Guy. If it just got stopped out, yeah, it was down a little bit. This is what I mean, though. This is why I hodl. Yeah, it's broken that structure there, so you can see. This is why I hodl Pepe and Mog, guys, and not these new ones, okay? So many people mess up in crypto, right? Because they hodl the new craziest thing, right? This thing only came out in like a month, like what's that, 45 days ago. So like this has no culture, it has no cult figures, it has no community. It's just a TikTok meme that went crazy. If this starts to create a nice bottom again, then we tried to long this, and now it's created a macro low. So yep, we definitely want to be out of that trade. I'd keep an eye on the 886 at 90 mil. But again, this is just a viral trend that happened to occur a month or two ago, right? So this isn't like Mog. It hasn't had like a long time history where you would confidently want to hold this for many, many months, right? But the 886 is very much a potential buy. So even Mog is showing short-term weakness. Like we said, Craig and I took a lot of profits at 1.5 billion up here. I did buy some. I bought some Mog last week at 850 when I was away at Christmas. But yeah, pretty much what we're looking at is probably this is a big support level here. About there. Maybe a little bit low off that boy. So yeah, I mean, this looks good. But this is what I mean, okay? You want a trend, right? You want the trend, okay? Macro high, low, double bottom there. Macro high, low again. Okay, macro high, low. We broke down, we consolidated. But then if you go on the higher time frames on the weekly, this is a macro high, low from that low there. Okay, we had a liquidation that only went to there. So like for me to be bearish on Mog, it probably has to break below the 600 mil. If it breaks below there, yes. Okay, then I maybe am a little bit more risk adverse with this particular trade. But yeah, like dive into as well this. Let me pull up Mog holders. This, like, there's so much that goes into trades, right? Like, people on the timeline who make big money, they get lucky majority of the time, and they don't consistently do it. GTG, we consistently have done this for now over 14 months. So, Mog looks really good. Every time you jump on here, there's new buyers stepping in. Okay, I don't know what the total amounts up to. Nearly 30, 37.3K. I don't have holders scan premium anymore. But essentially, yeah, you can get down the lower time frame trends. I don't really think you need it too much. This gives you enough information as well. So, yeah, Mog looks really good. I'm happy to hodl it. Same as Pepe. Pepe is the meme coin of this cycle, okay? It is the meme coin of this cycle. Okay, then we'll dive into NFTs. Okay, so what we're looking at, yeah, so pretty much I didn't long Pepe, but we're looking at this sort of level, okay? So I don't know why I've got that's a weird area to have it, but there we go. So, I mean, yeah, we're looking there. Okay, so keeping an eye on Pepe. I mean, these are all my charts have reset since leaving. But pretty much what we're looking at is like this macro breakout, okay, a long time ago. So that's what we're looking at there. We're just consolidating up here, creating maybe a new range as well. FWOG we looked at earlier. Giga, I did share that long, it's printing. Speaking of, I might, again, take some more profits as well on that. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. Hey, Greeny, I was looking to get into NFTs. Yeah, we can talk about that now, Britt. We can talk about that now. So Giga looks pretty good here. We have maybe rejected from there if you want to put in a bigger range, but I would probably say that's better of a range there, and then that's pretty good there, I'd say as well. So, I mean, we longed Giga from the middle. We're up a lot on that trade as well. Let me just go look. Yeah, Chill Guy's nearly at stop loss, is it? Yeah, nearly at stop loss for me. Okay, so Giga's up 138% on 5x leverage, so that is a great trade. Take small profit. SPX also up 116% from our trade as well. Take another 25% profit. And then the other alts I'll hold for now. Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't have an NFT video specifically, okay? Essentially what you want to be doing, so Giga looks probably, maybe we reject here a little bit, maybe retest, come back down, do this, then maybe do something like that. That's what I'd probably like to see on Giga, personally. Okay, NFTs. So, like I was saying yesterday, shout out to Chen. If you didn't get a chance, guys, to watch that live stream, here it is here. Oh, and Sexy did a live stream this morning as well. Absolute goat. Definitely go back and watch the live stream of Sexy as well yesterday. Here, I'll send the message links through. Sexy's a goat. Shout out to Sexy. He's such a good trader. But yeah, there's Sexy's. Okay, and then here is the one yesterday with Chan where we discussed Jirison. Okay, so pretty much that's a collection I have 4 of at the moment. Okay, there's my one there. Okay, so pretty much what I'm looking at here is you want to follow narratives. Okay, so if you're buying NFTs on at the moment on Ethereum, buy them on OpenSea because you can farm potential token unlocks as well. Airdrop on potential of airdrop, OpenSea airdrop. That could be elite. So I've been buying and selling via this. Beans got absolutely swept overnight, I believe. Is this floor price right? No, sorry. Azuki Elemental Beams got swept. Yes, this one here. So the unrevealed ones, because people are like, oh, maybe we get a Dark Spirit. So yeah, I mean, they got swept. But pretty much you want to be following a narrative. You want to follow the narrative. You want to follow where you think price is going to go, where the trends are going to be. You don't fade strength, okay? Like Pudgies are still strong here. I still think Pudgies probably have a 2x, if not higher, in them from this floor price. So for me right now, pretty much what I'm looking at is obviously the Azuki ecosystem. I still own my Azuki. I'll probably sell my Azuki into the hype. Same as what Craig will do. We both shared the Azuki play with the elementals and the beans. You could probably sell them into the hype. If you do want to hold the anime token, maybe we get a bit more information before it, which might lead you into wanting to hold it. But traditionally, guys, sorry, just having a sip of my coffee. Traditionally, you want to sell into the hype, okay, with NFTs. Now, the reason I didn't sell my Pudgy is because I knew Pengo was going to be elite. And I knew that Pengo was going to pretty much like be a cost-free trade, right? And I've locked in over 2x profit, and it's still up like a trend of like 4x, I think, from our entry in US so D prices. So that's what I mean. Don't fade the strength, but I probably sell my Pudgy into the abstract strength hype as well. I mean, if my Pudgy gets to like 50 to 100 ETH, like that's probably just like you just go take the money. Like, yeah, you're never going to time the top, but at the end of the day, you got to take the money. Like, that's a lot of money. So, same again, little Pudgy, I'd probably look to rotate that into the hype too if that's your exposure. But Jirison is the other collection that I don't know why these are lighted, but Jirison's the other collection that Chan and I spoke about yesterday. They have a lot building at the moment. The only thing that I would like to see in this collection is obviously that owner percentage continues to go up. You want this to be closer to 40% minimum. So for me, I own 4 of these already. My buys were 0.81, 0.81, 0.81, and then 0.92. I bought one yesterday. I think these could definitely be a runner in the future based on what the utility is. They're building a lot. They've got their own redacted airdrop token coming. They're also partnering with a lot of other collections. So other collections will be able to get exposure to Jirison redacted. But then obviously Jirison will get exposure to maybe, say, for example, if they partner with the Zuki, then potentially Jirison holders will get exposure to anime as well. So yeah, it's just like, don't fade strength. Doodles, there's been a lot of FUD around Doodles because they've obviously released stuff in the past. They pretty much came out earlier this year and said, look, NFT holders aren't going to be rewarded. And then all of a sudden the token meta kicked off and pretty much everyone's like, oh yeah, Doodles. Yeah, let's just create a new token. So For me, at current prices, I still would say Azuki and the Pudgy ecosystem remain my top plays, and Jirison is a very good play here on Ethereum. Outside that, I'm not really interested in anything too much. You don't want to over allocate your portfolio to NFTs. My portfolio, I checked yesterday, is about 17% in NFTs. Sorry, Sappy Seals is the other one, selling into the hype of Monad, which drops in the near future as well. It's probably the other collection that I did see this at 1.25. I was at the beach. I was like, oh, do I want to buy a Sappy Seal? I didn't. I was like, oh, no, I'm happy to fade that. I've got good NFT exposure already. So for me, right, if Azuki starts to pump close to 25 ETH in the next couple of weeks, I probably am happy with that and take the profit. And then I rotate maybe into, if Monad hasn't released, I'd probably rotate into Sappies. I'd probably buy a couple more Jirison. I believe you get some pretty crazy holder benefits and extra token allocations, etc. if you hold more than 10 Jirison. So things like that are definitely worth consideration. I probably look to sweep some little pudgies as well. So then maybe I can hold little pudgies into abstract and sell my big pudgy into the hype as well. So that's probably what I'm looking at in terms of ETH NFTs. In terms of Solana NFTs, I'm not really too keen. ETH money is built different, and this is what, like, a lot of cycle exposure will teach you a lot about the cycle, right? About crypto. Basically, what you want to be seeing is that ETH money is just built different to Solana. Okay, you need to understand that, and then Bitcoin's obviously built even more different to that. However, Bitcoin money is they don't want to sell their Bitcoin or even buy stuff on their Bitcoin. So ordinals are still doing well. I do think they do have a run, but I just don't think, like, the returns are just going to be in Ethereum. Like, that's what NFTs are. That's where the money is. That's where the liquidity is. That's where the investors are. Lots about that you need to consider. So for me, the only sort of collections I'd consider on Solana would have to be Klanos. But again, that's only if they, like, someone in the Bodogos community was saying that they can't release a token because they're based in Canada. So that was a bit of FUD hype potentially. But Klanos could get exposure to Abstract and a few other collections as well. Outside that, I'm not really too keen on too much else over there. I just think, like, spending 70 Sol on a Mad Lad, there's better plays. Like, how much is 70 Sol at the moment? Sol's at what, 190. So let me just do some quick math. So 70 times 190 is 13 grand. So 13 grand in ETH is how much? So 331300 0 divided by 3300. Yeah, it's about 4 ETH. Yeah, there's so many better collections that on ETH. Like, a Mad Lad, for me, a Mad Lad's just not the play, in my opinion. It doesn't mean they can't pump. I just think there's better risk to rewards. Okay. In terms of ordinals, again, like I've said for a long time, the top four are hard to ignore. Pretty much these top four, like, just don't ignore those. Maybe you could add Pizza Ninjas as a fifth, but these four are the ones that you want exposure to. They're probably the ones that pump the most. If you are looking for ordinal exposure on Bitcoin, you got a bit to play with. Maybe a hedge on Bitcoin could be as BitTC starts to top out in 25. Maybe some liquidity rotates over to ordinals, and maybe you can outpace some BTC there potentially. But for me, we traded a lot of this earlier this year, made a lot of money. We got the Magic Eden airdrop for free. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just not. I don't want you. And like, this is why I haven't been talking too much about it. Only specific NFT collections. Like, you don't. This is how so many people got wrecked last cycle, right? They all had way too much exposure to NFTs, okay? And then NFTs are, like meme coins, at the end of the risk curve. So as soon as macro shits the bed, as soon as our altcoins start to dump, NFTs and meme coins just go absolutely to zero. So you don't want to be over risk. Like, you want to be even more aggressive on this side of the market compared to other things. Okay, last point is obviously our base exposure. Shout out to Mike and Zen, who have been sharing a lot of alpha in that channel for a long time. But these are the four that I currently own on base, guys. They're the AI DAOs. AI agents like Vader. You know what? I need to add a couple more here. Let's add Vader. Is Mike here? No, he's not. Okay, so Vader is obviously on Virtuals, is an absolute sender as well. Shout out to Zen, who's up, over 100x on this trade, and he shared it in the group, guys. He shared it in the group, so absolute banging trade for him. But yeah, look at AI Virtuals. Okay, we are seeing a lot of love on these particular plays, but yeah, right now I wouldn't buy this at this level. Okay, so if we go like that, okay, we wouldn't buy this here. But pretty much, no, not virtual. I want to look at AI XBT as well. So AI XBT is just insane. Like, it's just absolutely insane. But like, if you look at it as an actual agent on Twitter as well, okay, this is dominating. So like, don't fade a strength, don't fade a trend, okay? But like what you see here, guys, is you want to see a potential pullback, okay? So if you're looking to re-enter, not re-enter, if you want to enter into something like this, wait to see a shallow pullback. Like you get some of the chances. Okay, this one maybe it doesn't even get to the 386. That's crazy. So it gets to maybe the 236 on some of these pullbacks. Yeah, 236. That one went a bit deeper to the golden pocket. The first big one here. This one here. This one didn't. Okay, this one didn't really. This one really didn't. So maybe the next one does, but. Again, you just got to remember, like your risk reward here for a 2x it's got to go from 500 million to a billion. So I do think AI XBT can get there, but for me, this isn't the trade. So for me, I'd much rather own this other stuff that we've got over here. Okay, this one over here. So these bottom four are the ones that we have. F-Dream went pretty heavy into that. Good founder, good potential product, but yeah. Those are the four that I'm keeping an eye on. My entry for F-Dream is about 8 mil and 10 mil. This one here, this one's dumping actually. AI Crow Strategy, which is your micro strategy one. That's dumping. That's down about 3 mil, I think. Alk is pretty much at break even, and Alameda Research V2 is also at break even. So depends what you want. I'm most bullish on probably F-Dream as well, guys. So that pretty much is an overview, guys. I don't want this to go too long for the people that need to watch the replay. If there's any last minute questions, let me know. And just a reminder, I'll be doing these every day.